Welcome to the video. We're going to talk about fat loss and strength training and being a coach. This is what I've seen from clients and where they struggle at the most. So you want to get in the best shape of your life. Probably struggling right now, struggling on following a plan. You're probably doing endless cardio, and when it comes to strength training, lifting weights, you don't have a idea on what to do, meaning you don't have a plan. Lack of plan is what most people struggle with, and that's okay. Diet. Now when it comes to diet, you want to think of diet as a tool to get to that point. It's not something that you want to do long term, that point that you see yourself being happy with. How I'm doing it for myself is I'm trying to bulk up right now. I'm not counting calories. I'm just trying to eat as much as I can, but at quality food. I'm trying to follow the 80-20 rule, so doing 80% of clean food and 20% maybe not the best, just to try to drive up calories. But I'm also listening to my body, and I'm training really hard too. And these are things that you got to ask yourself. Where are you struggling at? When I talk to clients, when we start that fat loss journey, most of the time I hear them talk, I ask them first, where are you struggling at with your eating? And I ask them, did you eat breakfast today? And most of the time, no, I didn't eat breakfast, or I grabbed a drink that's probably not the best for you, such as like a coffee from Dunkin' Donuts or Starbucks that's loaded with sugar. So it's about the choices that we make that are going to drive up those results or slow you down. If you struggle going to the gym, if you struggle following a plan, if you struggle knowing what type of diet to follow, then this video is for you. If not, this still could be for you, because you're going to learn a lot about training and probably things that you've never seen before. And that's what I'm about. I'm about teaching and educating, and also learning as much as I can to be a better coach for myself, for my clients. I have tons of fun when it comes to learning something and then doing it and then teaching it. And I'll be the first one to tell you, I'm not a know-it-all, I'm a learn-it-all, and I love what I do, and I'm gonna own it when I maybe say something, and when I say it, I believe it. So I'm gonna tell you right now that if you came to this video and you're watching it this long, you're gonna get some good stuff out of this. And I want you to leave this video with a plan, and I want you to keep it simple with yourself, with what you're trying to achieve. If it's trying to optimize your body to burn as much body fat as possible, and that's what we're going to do. The thing is, we want to formulate a game plan with your training and with your nutrition. I like to tell people, let's get your nutrition right, and then we'll start talking about a schedule for training. Let's keep it simple. I want you to focus on the 3 meals of the day: breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That's it. I want you to ask yourself, where do you struggle with the most out of those 3 meals? When I ask my clients this, it's easy for them to answer, and then they know right away where they struggle at the most. And most of the time, I hear it's breakfast. They don't give themselves enough time to wake up and eat a good meal, sit down and eat a meal, and then get going with their day. They usually rush out the door and grab something quick, or they go to a drive-through somewhere and grab something that's not the best for you, where it's more processed, more sugary based, not as much protein. So once you know where you struggle at, then it's going to be easy to make a plan from there. Now you struggle at breakfast. Let's keep it simple. So when it comes to breakfast, you want to drop body fat. Let's just say that's the goal, and that's obviously the title: fat loss and strength training. When it comes to breakfast, think of protein. So protein intake should be 20 to 40 grams. I like to go 40 to 60 grams. But to get you started, I'm perfectly fine with you getting 20 grams of protein in. Now when it comes to protein, think of anything that walks this earth or swims this earth is protein based. So everything animal based is protein. Anything that swims in the ocean or the lake, that's protein. So those are things that you want to eat. Super simple, and don't have to overcomplicate it. Now when it comes to breakfast, let's say you're not hungry in the morning, and that's understandable because you're skipping this meal and you're probably saving a big meal for dinner, maybe kind of like grazing at lunch, nothing crazy. So we got to be consistent. So protein is super important. Protein, when we ingest it, it becomes an amino acid, and then our body does what it needs with it. Protein does not store in our body for later usages like carbohydrates and fats. Every single day, you gotta intake protein. Yes, you gotta constantly eat protein, and it's the one that is essential. We need it. And it provides so much more than just building muscle. It helps with getting your metabolism to burn, to run efficiently. Helps with the immune system, helps with bone health. There's so much it does in the human body. Amino acids are great for your brain, right? So these are things that you want to be doing. So for when it comes to breakfast, you could do a protein shake. This is what I tell my clients that are struggling with getting the protein in. Protein shake, 1 scoop of protein mixed with 10 ounces, 8 ounces of cold water. Shake it up, get it down, boom, done. You got 20 grams to, if you do 2 scoops, 40 grams of protein in. You're already almost to your goal. Let's say your goal is 160 grams protein, or grams, right? So we're looking at per pound of body weight. So if you're, for example, you want to get to 185 pounds, you believe that you're going to feel good there, look good. That's where that's the amount of protein that you should intake. But in the beginning, we want to gradually get there, because right now, you and I both know that you're not used to getting that much in. So we want to build a strong base. So breakfast, I recommend getting it really good at it, getting used to eating. And I'm telling you, no matter what time you wake up in the morning, you're going to be hungry. And that's what we want, just because protein takes your body a lot more energy to break that down. Now, when we think protein, there's others. I want you to think about this too. It's just cool because I like this part and it makes me understand it better. There's 2 types of metabolisms, or way the body metabolizes things. You got anabolic and you got catabolic. It's anabolism, catabolism. When we ingest protein, our body gets in an anabolic state. That means our body's going to preserve all the lean muscle that we've worked for and start burning body fat. Now, when we don't have any form of protein in our body, amino acids, our body will eventually switch over to catabolic. So catabolic is to destroy. Think of like a crane knocking down a building, right? We're destroying that work that we just did, that we created. It's destroying the lean tissue, and we're going to start storing body fat now and losing that muscle that we've been working hard for. And this is a gradual thing. It just doesn't happen like that the minute you stop eating protein. Like, this is something that just takes a little bit. It takes time, right? You got to literally not be eating protein, like not as much protein. You got to stop training, and gradually over time, small, like not a short period of time, but it's something that happens at a period that we don't really recognize it right away, that we're losing muscle mass. So when we ingest protein becomes amino acids, our body becomes anabolic. So anytime that I'm out and about, I try to intake protein, the best kinds of protein. If I'm at a gas station, I'm traveling, I try to look for the best one I can, and it's usually a beef jerky, something that's as natural as possible. That's what I do. So this is why I'm able to be lean year round, but also not as lean. No, don't get me wrong, I'm not as lean. And here's where I'm at right now. Nothing crazy. I'm trying to bulk up, and I'm so close to getting where I want to be. But it's just about being consistent, and that's what I want to help you with. We first got to discover, where are we struggling at? And most of the time, it's nutrition. And then this training side is easy. The nutrition side is the hardest. Nutrition and sleep. And then the training, we're going to hammer that. But I want you to understand where you're struggling at, and that's where we're able to fix it. So this is how I would eat. I'm going to give you an example. And this is something you could do too, and this is temporary. This is based on your goal. You want to drop body fat. We want to get you as insulin sensitive as possible. So going back to no carbs for breakfast, you don't need them. We don't need to have where you're going to crash. My wife does a desk job, and her lifestyle's sedentary. She's not as active as she used to. Does she need to be pounding a lot of carbs? Definitely not. Not right now. Her goal is not to gain weight. So, based on your lifestyle, based on your goals, if you want to lose body fat, the best way to do it is don't have carbohydrates in the morning. And I don't want you to be counting your calories. You don't need to count your calories right now. You're not trying to step on stage. That's for another video, and we could definitely count calories. But again, when I have clients trying to count calories, they start getting calorie happy, meaning like they get discouraged. If they don't hit their certain macros, they get discouraged, they get in their head, and then they stress about it. Stress actually will delay fat loss. So we don't want to stress about it. We want to make sure we're getting in quality food in. So our body's able to be more efficient with it when we train. Quality does matter, my friend. Freaking does. So we want to focus on being consistent. So no carbs at breakfast, high protein, high fat. So think, this is what I do. I do like 3-4 eggs in the morning, Greek yogurt, and a scoop of protein on top of that. I'm getting about close to 60 grams of protein. You could do meat, steak and eggs. You could do ground beef and eggs. You could do eggs, a little ground beef, and half avocado. So nothing but good protein fats. Your brain needs that. Your brain runs on good cholesterol. So I want to make sure that you're being consistent with those things. Now, when it comes to lunch, especially if it's on maybe a training day, and you dictate this. So I want you to think about this too, just as a quick bonus tip. If we have a lot of weight in our midsection, in our stomach area, this is where we carry our weight, our belly, and everything else is kind of skinny. You're having an insulin issue. You're having a gut issue. You should not be eating carbs right now until we start getting your body to utilize fats. You want to teach the body how to utilize fats as an energy source. So you do not deserve carbs if you are fat, and I'm being straight up with you. You don't. You do not deserve them. High protein, high fats, and a shit ton of vegetables. That's what we'll do if you're in that point. If not, you could get away with a little bit of carbs, only if you're training hard too. So carbs at lunch with good protein source, usually maybe a fish. You could do a red meat. You could do chicken. I will switch off with all three of those depending on the year. You know, Ash Wednesday's right around the corner, and we're getting into Lent. I'm a big believer in God. I wouldn't be where I'm at without him, and I'm going to be not eating meat on Fridays. So it depends on where you're at right now. So lunch, chicken rice, you could do meat and rice, you could do fish and rice, you could do potatoes, some type of potato. That's perfectly fine. And then with some vegetables to help with control that insulin spike. You could do that. Dinner, same thing. Either chicken, steak, red meat is steak, or a fish, like maybe like a white fish. Because I like to do salmon at lunch or breakfast just because my body's able to utilize those healthy fats for an energy source later on throughout the day. And then dinner, with those type of proteins, you could do rice, potato, or you don't need to do that, and you could do a shit ton of vegetables too. So before we even finish this nutrition talk, I want you to think about this for a minute. Calorie in, calorie out, bullcrap. Don't think about if I just get my calories in, stay in a deficit, I'll be all right. Definitely not. You cannot train a bad diet, and you're going to hear from it first from one of my past clients that I worked with, where he thought he could out-train a bad diet. He told me, and like as he was getting stronger, seeing some results, but it was this, he wasn't prioritizing his diet as much, and his training, as he gotten stronger, as he gotten out of the beginner stage, his body, he's a big dude too, tall, strong, but we were getting to a point where he required more weight, more load, because the movements in the beginning, he already adapted to the type of stimulus that, you know, wasn't a lot of load, but it was enough to create a change. But the dude got strong as shit. Diet was still poor. So as he got stronger, his diet played a role in him fatiguing out faster, like the first 2 exercises right when we start the workout. So diet is key. So remember, quick analogy, would you want to put poor fuel in a Lamborghini? No, you're going to want to put the best gasoline in that Lamborghini so it could perform at its top performance, right? The same thing with your body. If you constantly are eating bull crap, don't expect A results. Same thing with training and getting to that point that you want to get to. Like, you got to really prioritize some things and be real with yourself. Because the way you've been doing it, ask yourself, has it been working? Definitely not. And be straight up, be honest with yourself. You got to want this, and it's not going to happen overnight. I want you to think about, just like we've been talking about, understand where you're struggling at. Fix those areas. We're not going to count calories just yet. I would like to, but I don't want to yet because right now we know we're struggling with getting our protein and getting our food in. We're missing meals, We got to get in a good routine with getting our meals in. At least breakfast, lunch, and dinner got to be on point. And then as you get in more of a routine, getting those in, good quality food, then we can start messing around with calories. Now, before I do a screen recording of my phone and showing you a workout schedule that I'm currently following, I want to talk about frequency of training, meaning how many days a week are you going to strength train? I suggest 3 to 4 days a week, just because there's 7 days out of the week. I don't want you to say 6 days and now you barely make it to the gym 6 days, and let's say you're getting to the gym at least 3 days out of the week. Good. Let's do that. I don't want you to stress about getting to the gym, setting the bar too high and not getting there. Let's keep it simple on ourselves. No need to stress about it. You could get great results doing 3 days a week. That's perfectly fine. You could do 4 days, and I'm going to show you an example of what a current 4-day schedule. And cool thing is, you could write your schedule on a Google Docs. Google Docs is super easy to navigate. Download it on your phone. It's Apple or Android. It's free, and it's what I use when I build schedules for clients and for myself, just because I don't want to think about what I'm doing in my head after I'm done training clients. I just want to get into it and hammer it. So let's go right into the screen record of how I'm training, and this is the schedule I'm following. It's a 4-day split, and I focus on that 3rd day rest, and you're going to see it right here. So let's go right into the screen record. I'm just going to hit screen record on my phone, and we're going to jump right into this. So Google Docs, you'll see it right here. Look at my screensaver, definitely at Audi. Sick. All right, Google Docs, right here. So this is this is a phase. I didn't change this. This is a phase I just finished. The dates are messed up, but look at week 1. Week 1, shoulders, arms. Tuesday, legs. So for this phase, I'm doing deadlift. And then Wednesday's off. And then Thursday, chest, back. Friday, shoulders, arms again. And then Saturday, Sunday are off. But if Friday I couldn't make it to the gym, I could push that Friday day to Saturday. And this workout, I've been following this frequency for a while, and I love it. 4 days. I used to do 5, 6 days a week, and I just felt like I wasn't recovering enough. And recovery is key for performance and to keep training for a long period of time. Period of time meaning long duration, as in months and months and months. Keep going like that before like injury or anything like that happen. When we overtrain, injuries are more likely to happen, and maybe we're not as motivated. So 4 days a week is, I find for myself, is a sweet spot. So now the 2nd day of the week, back squat. Monday, we're doing I need to change this, so it should be deadlift. And then Tuesday's chest, back, and then Thursday, shoulders, arms, and then Friday again we would do deadlift. I just got to change it. And then the 3rd week, now we're hitting chest, back the 3rd week twice. So Monday, chest, back. Tuesday, deadlift. Wednesday off. Thursday, shoulders, arms, and then Friday, chest, back again. If you need to train Saturday, move that, go ahead if that works better for you. So that's how I would set up like a schedule, and we want to do it for like 3 weeks. I find for myself and for clients that 3 weeks is a sweet spot, meaning after a 3-week period of following the same program, it gets boring and motivation's kind of, it's not there. So it's time to move on and start something a little bit different. These next ones I'm going to show you are compound lifts, and these are for upper body. I create a good list of them, and I use these all the time when I train and I train clients. But when we do a compound lift, I like to have it in the beginning of the lift, just because we're fresh. You could always later on. I mean, this is getting into it. Like, you could always do a pre-exhaust fly, cable fly, and then go right into your compound lift, such as like a bench press, decline, or incline, whatever you want to do. But in the beginning, I want you to think about compound lifts, because these are going to put way more muscle on you. And compound meaning you're hitting more than one muscle. For sure, the prime mover is going to be the chest, but shoulders and triceps are going to assist in the movement when it comes to press. So I'm going to screen record again my phone, and we're going to go over these lifts just real quick, and I want you to see about how many different, I put a lot of variations on these, but I want you to see this because it'll help you out a little bit to get you started. And I only did upper body, I didn't do lower body. So I'm going to screen record again. So here we are, compound lifts, upper body. So the first one that, in my opinion, actually it's the hardest lift, is overhead press because of mobility. If you lack shoulder flexion, proper shoulder flexion, so being able to get your hand stacked above your shoulder, you're gonna have a hard time lifting weight over your head. And that was something that I sucked at because of restrictions. When I was tight, lats, chest were tight, it was restricting me being really good at that movement. Now that I feel more mobile and I don't have those restrictions, I feel like I gotten stronger. My press has gotten stronger. My delts gotten stronger, or put more mass on just because I'm doing the lift a lot more. So overhead press, we see supported, seated barbell. These are just variations I'm talking about, and there's a list. I'm not going to read them all, but you see what I mean. Overhead press. This would be on your shoulder day. I would start with an overhead press variation: seated, supported, seated, unsupported. There's different purposes for that. Z press. Z press is where you sit on your ass, legs are out, so now you're utilizing your core, lower back, hamstrings to be able to press that weight, because when we have a weak core, hamstrings, and try to do that movement, you're going to fall on your back. And that's just, again, these are just different things that maybe you've never seen before. And bench press, you got your regular barbell. Everybody does barbell. Football bar. No one has really a football bar, but football bar is pretty sick. You got your dumbbell bench. Everybody does dumbbell bench, pronated grip. Switch up your grip. Neutral, right? Rotating is here, up, right? I don't want to always be doing a pronated grip. Like I just got done doing a barbell bench pronated grip. Now I'm going to go do a dumbbell bench pronated grip again. It's a lot on the shoulders, so change up your grip. If we do neutral, I'm able to get a way deeper of a stretch here versus here, right? I could get a lot deeper, and it's safer for the shoulders too. So you gotta mess around with this, and you're gonna have this. Make sure maybe you save this, screenshot this, whatever you want to do. And then incline press, different variations again, pretty sick. Decline press, I could keep going. And then we got dips, chin ups, and pronated pull ups. Those are your compound lifts for upper body. For pulling, we usually stick to chin up or pronate or a pull up, usually in the beginning, especially as for beginners. I recommend doing chin up, neutral grip first, because it's a little bit easier. It's still hard because you're pulling your body weight up, and we could progress to pronated. Everybody wants to do pronated because it hits your lats, get a little bit wider lats, bro, and all that shit. You could get there. And this is, again, think about this, and then we're going to move on. Overhead press, you got an angle here, straight up. And then from there, we're working towards bench press. Incline press, so more of that angle. And then flat bench. Flat bench, look at the angle of my arm. Flat bench is here, incline here, right here, incline a little bit higher, and then we're getting here. The hardest angle when it comes to pressing is actually overhead press. And then this overhead, incline are probably very hard for you because it's a lot harder. As we get closer to our lower part of the pec, decline, the easiest press. Dips, pretty easy, but still hard as shit. Dips, you're doing your body weight, want to make sure you're good form. Yes. So we're working with a 180-degree angle when it comes to pressing. Boom, look at this. So the goal with this, and how I train and how I program people, because I want to be as efficient as possible and I don't want to have any imbalances. I try to stick to that 90-degree principle, which is, all right, I do an overhead press on my shoulder day, and then on my chest day, I'm going to do a barbell bench, flat. So now I'm following that 90-degree principle. We do that for 3 weeks. And then switch it up again. Maybe do another variation. We could do an incline press and then a decline press. So 2 different chest days. You could do that. It's cool. This shit's fun. But yeah, I just wanted you to see this. Hey, if you're liking the video so far, I really appreciate some feedback. Let me know how I'm doing. Let me know if you're getting some value out of this. I'm trying my best because I could go on, and I'm having so much fun. And the most important rule why people don't stay consistent when it comes to training and seeing results, because one, they lack a plan. And I'm trying to help you formulate a plan. I'm trying to help you understand where you're struggling at with your nutrition. I hope by now that you have a better understanding on where you are with nutrition and how you can keep it simple for yourself. And with your training, figure out a schedule that works for you. I just showed you a 4-day week split, and it goes like this: shoulders, arms, legs, chest, back, and then shoulders, arms again. That's the first week. But remember, that third day should always be a rest day. Remember, the second week, again, legs Monday, Tuesday, chest, back, Wednesday off, Thursday, shoulders, arms, then Friday or Saturday, legs again, whatever you want to do. And then for the third week, chest, back Monday, Tuesday legs, Wednesday off, Thursday could be shoulders, arms, Friday or Saturday, chest, back. So that's how you could do that. You could stick to that type of workout, type of split, meaning shoulders, arms, legs, chest, back. You could do that for 3 days a week. That's fine. It works. And just, you want to think about being consistent. Are you going to be able to stick to the plan, stick to the program, and be consistent with it for 3 weeks? That's the whole thing about working out. A lot of these fitness influencers, and trust me, I don't consider myself an influencer. I don't want to be. I want to help you as much as I can, because I love doing this. This is what I do day to day, and I'm just trying to build my brand on YouTube, because this is fun, and I'm trying to get better at this. But yes, I'm not trying to be an influencer, but these guys don't tell you this. They're all about creating these crazy ass workouts. You know, I'm all about the basics and keeping it simple and kind of progressing, doing things that maybe you haven't seen before. But it's, again, they're nothing new. You know, I'm not reinventing the wheel. I'm just trying to be consistent and following a program for 3 weeks. It's boring, but I'm finding ways to just film it and show you guys. And I'm telling you the results. I'm feeling the best I've ever had with movements, with my weight, with how I'm moving certain things. Like, it feels good. Lifts that I used to feel weak in. And this is what I want to help you with. Like, you have to figure out a workout and stick to it for three weeks and see how you feel. The workout split I just gave you is super easy to follow. You just got to figure out your workouts. And if you need help with that, comment below that you need help with figuring out how to structure your workouts, following the shoulders, arms, legs, chest, back. If you need help, I'm down. I'll make a video on it. I just don't want to make something that people have no interest in. So I want to hear more from you, because I'm trying to help you. I want to make sure that you get all the gains, that you feel really good about yourself. You feel really confident going in the gym because you have a plan. Again, we lack a plan. We're not going to get the results that we want. And that's super important when it comes to training. I was there before I became a coach. I remember my first time, I was like, all right, I want to get in shape. I want to lose some body fat and get lean. I hired a coach to help me get there. All the greats hire a coach. Remember that. They're never doing it on their own. They always have a coach that's a professional that's going to allow you to get to there faster. So don't ever think it's silly to hiring somebody or getting help. This was me. That was my thought process when I was in college, in high school. I thought it was stupid of me to go get help from an outside source, from somebody that has more experience, that's a professional. I thought it was silly, it was stupid of me, it made me feel dumb. And looking back at it, I would have changed that. The thought process, the mindset I have now, obviously because I'm older, but it's helped develop me who I am today. And I'm telling you this right now, if you're young and you could afford maybe a coach, or at least look for somebody that's willing to work with what you got, they'll help you. I'm willing to help, but yes, find somebody that you trust and ask them for help and be real with them. That's all I ask. Be respectful, work your ass off, show them that you want this, and that's fun. That's fun for me when I have a client like that really appreciates what I'm doing for them. that's where it gets fun, because man, I could have fun with programming. This person really wants it, you know. So other than that, hope you enjoyed the video, and let me know what you think of this style video. And just again, I'm just trying to get better at this stuff because it's fun. Like, I love doing this. And my dude, we're almost at 200 subscribers, which is fantastic. It's just with me being consistent on here. Same thing with your training. Don't get discouraged after going to the gym for a week and not seeing the results. You got to be doing it long term. That's why I'm telling myself, and I want to share with you, for YouTube, I'm trying to be on here hammering videos for a year just to see what will happen. What will happen with my business? What would happen? Will this change my life a little bit? I don't know, but I don't know if I don't try. The same thing with your fitness journey. You got to give it your all. You're going to have days where you don't want to go, you don't want to show up for yourself. That's perfectly normal. There's days where I don't want to train. Here we go again. You know, this is my second, third week following the same fucking workouts, but still having so much fun with it. Like, I feel really good. So you got to remember that. You got to ask yourself why you're doing this in the first place. Why am I doing this? Because I want to raise my family. I want to set my family up. I want to do something different that no one's doing in my family. This is why I'm doing it. And of course, I love what I do. I have a gift to be able to reach each and every one of you, but also I love training. I love it. And the thing is too, is I'm trying to learn more and more on this stuff. So I'm able to show you what I'm doing and to teach here and there. I don't think I'm an expert. No way. I love what I do. I'm not a know-it-all. I love to learn, and I like to hear feedback too. Other than that, hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure you subscribe because it's going to help a brother out, my man. You feel? All right. I'll see you later.